So in this video, we are going to learn how to add webhook response in PostgreSQL. So let's say you're using PostgreSQL as a database platform and you want that whenever you get a webhook response from any application of your choice, you want to add that same webhook response in your PostgreSQL database as a record. So let me tell you, you can completely automate this process. In this automation, as we are going to receive a webhook response from any application, automatically the same responses will be added as a new record in our PostgreSQL database into a specific table. Now, if you want to learn how you can set up this complete automation all by yourself, for that you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, this is my PostgreSQL database. And here I want to basically add some data, some responses which I'm getting via webhook from some other application. Now to capture the webhook responses from any application and automatically adding them in our PostgreSQL database, to do this, we are going to use an automation and integration platform called Pabbly Connect. And to get started with Pabbly Connect, you will get a free sign-up link in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can set up your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. After creating your account and coming to this dashboard, we have to create an automation workflow over here. For that, just click on this Create Workflow button and give this workflow a name. Let's say I'll name it as Webhook to PostgreSQL. You can basically give any other name as per your choice. Then just select the folder of the Pabbly Connect account in which you want to set up this automation and click on Create. And as we click on Create, here you can see the workflow will open in front of us. In this workflow, we have two different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's start with the trigger step. Now the idea here is, first we have to basically select Webhook by Pabbly over here in the trigger step. After selecting Webhook by Pabbly in trigger event from the drop-down, select the trigger event as catch webhook. And now Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. So now we have to add this webhook URL into the application from which we are receiving the webhook response, from which we want to get the data and add it in PostgreSQL. In this video, I am taking an example of Pabbly Form Builder. Using Pabbly Form Builder, I have just created a simple user query form, and I want that whenever a user is going to enter their details and make the form submission, I want to capture the webhook response and I want to add the same responses of form submission in PostgreSQL. So now we have to add this webhook URL in our application, let's say in Pabbly Form Builder. Now each and every application has a different process of adding the webhook URL. So I'll just copy the webhook URL from here and you just have to add this webhook URL into that particular application. To add it in Pabbly Form Builder, we'll go to the integration section, click on this add webhook button, paste it over here and click on save. And as we click on save, here you can see that this webhook URL is now added. This means whenever we are going to receive a new form submission in this particular form in Pabbly Form Builder, automatically the form responses will be sent to this webhook URL. And all the data sent on this webhook will be received inside this particular workflow of Pabbly Connect. And also in this workflow, you can see it is showing us waiting for webhook response. This means Pabbly Connect is waiting to capture some response of a new webhook or a new form submission from Pabbly Form Builder. So what we are going to do, we will just open this form in preview mode and we are going to make a dummy form submission. Let's say the name of the person is demo user. This is the email address. This is the phone number. The question type is problem. The problem is with the Google Sheet integration. And the description is, for example, update row action is not working. Let's say we are adding some dummy details over here. Now let's click on the submit button. As we click on submit, we have received a new form submission in Pabbly Form Builder. And because we have added a webhook in Pabbly Form Builder in this application, a webhook response of the exact same form submission will be sent on this webhook URL. And all the responses sent on this webhook URL are received inside Pabbly Connect. So here in our Pabbly Connect workflow, in the trigger step, you can see we have received the response. And in this response, you can see the details of the exact same form submission, the same webhook data which we have received from the application. Here you can see the same subject over here which we have added. We have the same query type, same mobile number, same name of the person, same email, and also the same description. So the step 1 of setting up this automation is completed, where we have received the webhook response from the application. Now after this, let's move to step 2. And step 2, we want to add this webhook response in our PostgreSQL database. For that, we will scroll down, come to this Actions tab. Here in Choose App, we'll just search for PostgreSQL. And after selecting it, here in Action Event from the drop-down, select the action event as Insert Row into a Table. Then just click on Connect and select Add New Connection. After selecting add new connection, here it is asking us to enter some details. So we have to basically connect our PostgreSQL account with Pabbly Connect, and to make this connection, we have to enter the username, password, host name, database and port of our PostgreSQL account. Now I have set up my PostgreSQL database on Supabase. And after setting this up in Supabase, we just have to click on this connect button, and after clicking on connect, we will scroll down and come to this transactional Pura. Under this, if we click on this view parameter button, you can see all of these details are added over here. Now, instead of Supabase, if you have set up your PostgreSQL database on some other platform, using that platform, you just have to get these details and enter these details over here in the Pabbly Connect workflow. Right now, I'll just copy all of these details like the host, port, database, and user, all of these details from here and paste it over here. So let me just copy the host over here. Then we'll go to Pabbly Connect and paste the host name. Okay, so now we have successfully copied and entered all of these details like username, the password of your PostgreSQL database, host name, database, and port. After entering all of these details, just click on Save. And as we click on Save, we will see our PostgreSQL account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making the connection, the first thing it asks us is the table name. Now here what we have to do, in this dropdown you can see a list of all the tables which we have created in our PostgreSQL database. So out of all of this, in my PostgreSQL database, the table in which we want to add these form responses, these webhook responses, is named as query form responses. So from this dropdown, select the table in which we want to add the data. After selecting the table, all the columns of data which we have created in this table, you can see all of these columns are added as fields over here. And one by one, the webhook response which we have received in the trigger step, we have to basically add these webhook responses into their respective field in the PostgreSQL action step. So let's see how it is done. I want to add the ID and created ad automatically in my PostgreSQL itself. So this details will be automatically added. So we can just ignore these two fields for now. These will be added by PostgreSQL itself. But we will start with name. Now to add the trigger step responses into this action step, we are going to use a process called mapping. And the process of mapping is very simple. Just click on this field of name over here, and here in this drop down, you can see a list of all the webhook responses which we have received in our trigger step. Out of all of these responses, I'll select the response of first name and it will be mapped. Then I'll add a space and map the response of last name over here. Then it is asking us for the email. Now here in the field of email, we'll map the response of email address and use the same process of mapping once again. Then we are going to map the response of mobile number. So let's search for mobile number and map it. Then we are going to map the response of query type, subject, and after subject, let's map their description as well. So in this way, we have to basically map all of these details into the respective fields. And after mapping all the details, just click on Save and Send Test Request. And as we click on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see we have received some response. And this is a success response. This response shows that the data which we have mapped over here, basically the webhook response which we have received, is now added as a new record in our PostgreSQL database. So let's see how it is done. We'll just go to our PostgreSQL table over here and refresh this table once. And yes, here you can see that in this table, just now a new row of data is added. And in this row, you can see we have the details of the exact same form submission, the same webhook response which we have received from our trigger application. So you can see that this automation which we have created using Pabbly Connect is working perfectly fine, using which you can capture the webhook response from any application on the internet and automatically add those webhook responses in your PostgreSQL database. Now after setting up this automation, we are going to test this automation workflow once. We'll go to the same form, and this time we are going to enter the details of a new user, and then we are going to make another form submission. We are going to basically send another webhook response over here. The question type is, for example, a request, and the request is to, for example, add MailChimp integration. So this is the subject, and the description is please add MailChimp integration as well Okay, so just now we have entered some dummy details. Now let's click on the submit button, and as we click on the submit button, you can see the form submission is received. As we receive the form submission, this application is going to send the form responses as a webhook response. And as we receive this webhook response, the automation workflow will trigger and automatically these responses will be added in PostgreSQL database. So let's check it. We'll go to PostgreSQL database over here and refresh this table once. And yes, here you can see that in this table, just now a new row of data is added, and in this row of data, you can see we have the details of the same form submission, the same webhook response which was sent by this particular application by Pabbly Form Builder. So we have tested this automation in real time and it is working perfectly fine. It's not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And one more important thing, you will find the clone link of this exact same automation workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can just clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and start using this automation for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can just do it for absolutely free.
So if this video was helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with others, or if you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can always write us in the comment box below or email us at support@pabbly.com. Also, you can post your queries on our forum as well. And if you want to check the pricing of Pabbly Connect, you can visit this link. So this is it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.